All right, welcome to Bucketphoria. This is a NBA podcast presented by Mafia Sports Report and Sports Dynasty. I'm pretty sure all the series across the boards are all 3-2, which is crazy because it was 2-2 when we last show, right?
It
Or
was
2-1 or whatever.
it was after 2 games. So
After two
someone won one, someone 2-0.
Right. So we're facing elimination games now. This is, where things are getting real spicy, but we're gonna have a very interesting conversation about one of the worst series we've ever seen. I'll let you take the cake here, Alex.
Okay, so the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers, right? I was on record saying that Boston's probably gonna sweep them, but I'll say 5. That was essentially my prediction. And wow, this is one of the worst series I've seen in my life. Okay, so I'll say this for Philly. They're not playing better than I thought because I still think they look like garbage. The only thing I can give credit for that's actually been a surprise for me is James Harden playing as well as he is. I think that's fair to say. Like everything else seems the same, but okay, James Harden is actually playing really well so far in this series.
Yeah, that's kind of like, I guess you could say, like the positive note for the 76ers is that James Harden is playing no one expected this. No one he's had his normal James Harden games. I believe it was game 2 and 3 where he was just like same old James Harden, but game 1 and game 5 is I guess it's like confusing, really. I guess it's confusing where he just plays at a dominating level where it feels like he reverts to his prime self, which is weird and we never seen coming. And I guess also is like the fact that Joel Embiid could still be here hurt and he hasn't, I guess, re-injured himself yet.
Right. I don't know, my screen's black. But it's like, okay, you got Maxey being shooting.
Yeah, he's like mid.
But like the Sixers are playing at like the Sixers you would think would, right? But the Celtics,
they're the bigger issue.
Oh my God, this is annoying to watch. So you got Jason Tatum playing like absolute garbage. Don't ignore what the stats is telling you. If you really watch, he looks like absolute garbage. His stats look inflated than what it actually is. This is back-to-back games. His stats look better than what they were. Jaylen Brown is like the only thing I can say positive about. Brogdon is okay, I guess, but I still can't get that bad taste in my mouth that was that game 1, like out my mouth. I hope he looks like he can't play basketball no more. Derek White looks like he's just there. And Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart. And I don't know what it was. This game 4 annoyed the shit out of me too because it was like, it looked like no one wanted to take a shot at the end of that game 4, at both regulation and overtime.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Jason Tatum's, I feel like he's probably having like the worst playoffs of his career just in general. He was bad in the Atlanta series. He's bad in this series as well, and the stats look inflated. They just really do. I mean, I believe between game 4 and game 5, if you combine the first halves together, I think the most he had is like 12 points or 15 points in 2 halves. So that's insane. Also, I would say Michael Brogdon is playing like decent, but you can't get that game one pretty much choke out of your head. I can't get it off mine either. The Al Horford, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I just don't understand how he can't knock down perimeter shots. It's to a point where it's like he shouldn't even shoot them anymore. It's just they're not gonna go in. He's not gonna make any threes, or if he makes any, he's gonna make one after he misses like 5. I mean, this team, there's just something is just wrong. Something is just wrong. The Atlanta series was a sign. It definitely was. If people who didn't really believe it, hindsight's 2020, of course, but the Atlanta series really is a sign that there's something wrong with this basketball team. even if they get out of the series, I don't really see how, if you're a Boston fan, how you expect this team to win a championship. I'm not really sure how. It's technical difficulties with Alex, but we'll carry on here. This Boston team is struggling big. I think Marcus Smart is making the plays that he has to make, but I feel like he's probably battling an injury because I know he's having contact plays where he's falling. He's falling on the floor, landing on his hip. And if you paid attention to this team, hey, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, cool. I was carrying on, just talking about if you're a Boston fan, you got to be just extremely worried about this basketball team. I'm sure. I don't think anyone should think that this team, even if, let's say, they survive this 3-2 deficit, I don't think that this team will be playing come June or raise the Larry O.B.
Yeah, no, I can't see it. And honestly, I've been the coach. I like him. And I said it's like around the second half of the year, but I kind of shrugged it off. But most of it in the playoffs is kind of what I've noticed is like, this team doesn't look right.
They don't.
There's something about this team is like, they look nowhere near as good this year as they did last year. And I feel like this is mostly Ime Udoka's doing of why they were good. Hence why I kind of alluded to that in the beginning of the season. I feel like now it's truly coming to light. And it's crazy because when is Jaylen Brown a free agent? Next year?
I believe it's next year, yes.
Especially since he's eligible for the Supermax too. So
they both are.
Yeah, since they both made all NBA teams. So it's something you gotta think about. And honestly speaking, like, and I think I don't know if I said this on recording, but I remember saying this. I feel like last year was the only shot of them winning a finals.
At the end of the day, it could have been. It very well could have been because it is just hard to get there. Like it is just hard to get there. But
yeah, because you never know if you're gonna go back.
Yeah, you just never know. Like there's just a whole bunch of things in terms of just health, in terms of team acquisitions. It's just a lot of things that plays into getting in, just to get in. There's a lot that plays into it. So it's a very understandable thing that you said. I just never thought that this team would drop off like this. But I'll have to agree with you 100%. I think it's coaching, man. I think it's definitely coaching. Masai Ujiri was, I mean, not Masai, what's his name? Ime Udoka was their guy. Ime Udoka was definitely their guy. And this team should be better than last year's team because they have a better team in terms of, you look at this roster, they have a better team. And Malcolm Brogdon, he fit in perfectly with this team. You know, he isn't the problem at all. If anything, he's one of the better players in this team. But they got Robert Williams. He came back. So like this is a team that did get like pretty much got healthy at the right time, and they're just not the same. That just the defensive prowess is not the same. They don't really feel as dominating on the offensive end. I mean, there's a problem, and I definitely think it has to do with coaching for sure.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like again, they are literally one game away from getting bounced by Philly, and that game 5 was probably the worst performance I've seen
at
by
home.
this group of guys. It was absolutely disgusting, and their fans let them hear it, and as they should, because that was absolutely disgusting. The was on display on that game 5, and a 2-2 series lead. Game 5 was the most important games in series, and you're supposed to be defending home court, and you come out like that.
Just threw the regular season right out the window with that loss.
Like, and a team that you have good history of beating is about to take you out. And granted, I don't think they look good either, but they actually know what the hell they're doing, it looks like.
Hey, one thing I'll say is their stars are having bigger games than the Celtic stars. That's the one thing I'll say, because I think Joel Embiid had like a 33-point game in the last game.
Yeah, and he got 33, I think. Yeah,
like 33. And James Harden, I think he had like a 45-point game and like a 39-point game and you just haven't seen like this explosion that Tatum, where he will usually have like per series, he will usually have like a game or maybe 2 games where Jason Tatum is just too much, right? We seen it last year in the Bucks series where he had, I think it was in the road, where he had a game where, right, and it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't blame the fans for booing, because if you're a Celtics fan, you're thinking about June. That's what you should be thinking about.
And you would think that with Milwaukee getting bumped in the first round,
it's the perfect time.
And especially since you'd have to play Miami in the first round, you got to play Atlanta. And like, if you really think about it, this playoffs should have went as smoothly as it possibly could have for them, because they avoided Miami in the first round. Milwaukee got bumped by said team, and all you had to do was beat a team that you always beat, and you should be fine. And yet they're struggling to do that. Hell, they almost lost to Atlanta.
They did almost lose to Atlanta. Yeah, they did. It definitely should have been a point where they're like, all we got to worry about is Miami. That's all we got to worry about. They should have smoothly went through the series, especially with what Joel Embiid missed 2 games.
Well, he may as well miss the second game because he was not even healthy, but he did miss the game.
They should have been coming into Philly with a 2-0 lead, like easily.
What's crazy though is that if they closed out their games the way they're supposed to, this actually would have been a sweep. They closed out the first game like garbage. In the fourth game, even though they came back from said deficit, they closed the game out as poor as they possibly could have. What's PJ Tucker doing getting and ones on you?
Yeah, getting and ones, winning the 50-50 balls. Of course, that's what he's there for, but it's still an unacceptable thing to happen.
It's disgusting.
This team, like I said, even if, let's say, they do come back, I just don't see them beating Miami. I can't see it. I just can't see this team beating them. This team needs Al Horford being able to shoot those perimeter shots. It makes this team deadly. It makes them so dangerous because you just can't leave them open. That's Al Horford at his best in the Celtics team. But if he can't spread the floor. He's not spreading the floor. It's to a point where it's like it's a center that is shooting shots for no reason. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, and since he's not spreading the floor, it makes it harder for just LeBron and Jason Tatum to do their thing. And I feel like it can also attribute that as to why they're shooting so badly. Well, not Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown's shooting like 57%, but Jason Tatum, why he's shooting as bad as he is on the court at times. So
definitely.
At this point, you might as well have Robert Williams there.
Might as well give him a minute boost because you need more rebounds, you need more defensive stops, and with Tatum, Robert Williams can get those putback dunks, get those little chippy buckets, because when Jason Tatum's gonna have to meet and beat at the rim, and injured or not, that's Joel Embiid. I mean, he's gonna challenge his shot. It's gonna be difficult to score on him.
Right. But think Boston wins the series?
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say no, because if Al Horford continues to do this, I feel like at the end of the day, I think he's the biggest problem in this whole thing. Is him not being able to make shots. This team relied heavily on him doing this, and he was a player who he ups his level in the playoffs, where you had to worry about him. He will have like a game where Al Horford game, like he'll have like a 25 or a 30. And is he gonna get 10? Is he gonna even get 10 points? So if he continues to play like this, I don't think they come out of this.
I think they're gonna win the series, but they're not gonna look at doing it. It's gonna be one of those situations. It's getting ready to. I think they're just gonna delay the inevitable. They're gonna win the series, and then they're gonna get beat up by Miami. Miami gonna get their get back from last year.
Okay, I'll say this: if Boston wins today, I think they win the series.
That would happen because Philly likes to do this.
They do. So me saying they're not gonna come out is me saying I think Philly wins today. They win.
That's how I guessed. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Philly loses tonight, I think Boston, they're at home. It's perfectly set up for them to escape this, and that's what probably will happen if they win Game 6. But I think they fall tonight. But let's see what happens. This is the most confusing series in the whole playoffs. Is this one? It's because, like Alex said, it's both teams they're just not playing well. They're just not playing well at all.
All right. Next series, talking about number 8 Miami, 1 game away against the Knicks. 3-2 going back to Miami. New York survived another day. And yeah, I'm guessing this series ends tomorrow. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think this is a pull away kind of game. I think this is a momentum game. New York, they fought for their pride pretty much. Jalen Brunson played 48 minutes. They just didn't want to lose in the Garden, and they almost let it go. They almost let it go.
Yeah, they did.
This team, they're not going to win in South Beach. I think Miami kind of wins this one pretty convincingly in Game 6. I'm not worried at all about Miami in this upcoming game.
Game 4 was the game. Game 4 was that game. That
was
my goodness. Because it felt like Miami in the third quarter, right? They couldn't miss. But New York was still hanging around, though. Like, how much were they down by? They were down by, I think, 9 going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
And then Miami started to miss. It's like, okay, they have a shot. The problem was, they couldn't get a rebound. They just got completely outworked the whole entire fourth quarter, and that's what led to their undoing, which is so weird to me because it's like, when you think of the Knicks, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and yet they just completely just folded in that aspect of the game.
That is a very uncharacteristic thing to happen to this New York Knicks team. But in that stretch, was Mitchell Robinson there?
He played 8 minutes.
Huh?
He played 8 minutes.
He played. Yeah. I was looking at the stat the other day. I think he's like top 3 offensive rebounders in the entire league this year.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So his presence is definitely missed, but they just don't have a choice. You know what I mean? But his presence is definitely missed, and I give a lot of respect to Jalen Brunson. He is a dog, man.
Like, he played almost that whole entire fourth quarter when that happened, and yet it's just still happening. Some of them was bad bounces for sure, but some of it, there was some positions that might have had no business getting rebound, and they did. And it was frustrating to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was very frustrating to watch because you can make the argument like, especially when Miami could win, New York could have stole this and could have been up 3-2 right now going into Game 6.
You definitely can make the argument for New York to be leading off of that missed opportunity. But that's just a tough break, man. But if win or lose, I think for the Knicks, they gotta trade Julius Randle just off the fact that how RJ Barrett looks without him.
RJ Barrett this playoff run from like Game 3 of the first Cleveland series and onwards looked really good.
He looks really good, and yeah,
he looks really good. And
yeah,
I'm about to say, and it's something you got to think about. And Julius Randle played all right in that game 5. He played better than I thought he did. Actually, now think about it.
Right. Now he did.
I was gonna say from eye test wise, oh my goodness, it like all he was doing was forcing shots, but apparently he didn't take that many. But yeah,
it just feels like even because even when Randall plays good, it just feels like RJ Barrett's good production just feels so much worth more. It feels worth more. It feels like they're better. It feels like they can beat anybody, to be honest with you. That's how it really feels when he's producing like that.
Right. And it's crazy because it's like, you look at Jalen Brunson, right? And he's I'll say he's the best player in this series for both teams because Jimmy Butler they missed a game and
he is
not having to do much.
He is the best player in this series. He is. I agree.
But it's like they have a good enough team. They just need to tweak some things, because I feel like the foundation of this Knicks team is there.
It's something small. It's not something big.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely something very small. This is a good basketball team for sure.
He's got me some small tweaks. Like Jalen Brunson, you can make the argument. He got snubbed out of the All NBA team. You can make the argument, but the man's a baller.
Very good point. Yeah.
The man's a baller, and honestly speaking, is like they can come back this series to me.
They can. They just have to win Game 6.
I just realized Quentin Grimes played all 48 minutes too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played 48 minutes.
Like
he played 48 minutes.
Like,
yeah.
Look, I know Brunson and Quentin Grimes did. It was
and Grimes got hurt and kept playing too.
Yeah, he got hurt and got the game winning steal off Jay Butler. I'm like,
yep.
Okay, like good stuff. I mean, but
I just think that 48 minutes is insane. Like that is insane. And to play another game, the only person I've seen do something like that is LeBron, bro. Like I to continuously do something like that and produce. So I just cannot see them doing that again. Like he had to play 48 minutes. Like,
no, he did. No, he did.
They would have went home if he didn't. So, I mean, if he does that again, then he's just him. So just simply say he is just him. But if he has to play that much minutes again, I just don't think they're gonna win. Not in the road.
But yeah, the Miami team so far looking good so far. Struggled last game, but it's what it is. I kind of expected that, to be honest.
Me too. Yeah,
they didn't lose yet at home, and honestly, I don't think that's gonna change. And I expect not really much more to say about the series, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like I said. After game 1, it kind of felt like Miami just took control of the series, and they just never let it go.
Right.
That's just pretty much what happened.
And that game 4 was like the most frustrating thing I've seen in my life.
Yeah, pretty much. That was the turning point. Like if the Knicks had a chance in this series, it was definitely that game. But I think they costed themselves the series on that.
Right. Now on to Denver and Phoenix.
It's a very entertaining series.
It's very entertaining, but it's like it's one of those situations. Like I sometimes hate watching the Suns play because it's like when I see a team of like you have to rely so heavily on two people just to make sure you have a chance to win games. That stuff like that annoys me.
Yeah, it's just not a good brand of basketball. It is entertaining, but it's just like you just question the front office and say like, was this your vision? Like this is what you visioned to happen, and you thought that this would succeed?
No, my guess is that this is a contingency plan for next year. This is my guess.
Okay.
Because there is no way in your right mind, especially since this happened mid-season, there's no way in your right mind you thought that, we're going to win finals this year. Booker and Kevin Durant solos everybody. Which, Devin Booker so far in this playoffs has been a completely different beast.
Yeah, he's just simply been unstoppable.
Like, to me, it's crazy when he misses a shot. If it was like,
pretty much, it is. It's like, oh, he's human. That's what it feels like. It's interesting because I didn't think he would dominate this way against Denver. I thought he did this to the Clippers because Kawhi and PG was out, but I guess he would have just did it anyway.
Right?
Because he's going to the Nuggets. He's actually playing better against Denver, so he rolls into another level. I didn't think he had this in him, to be honest with you, especially in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's fascinating to see that he got better. That's insane. I think he had a game where he had 80% from the field, and he had like 50.
Yeah, he had 47 while shooting 80%, and had 36 and 12 the next game while shooting 78%.
Yeah, so he is in a insane stretch right now, and if they win this series, it's because of him.
But this is what I mean, though, because it's like you look at how Devin Booker played in those two games, right? Historic performances, shooting 80%, 78%, missed a combined total of 9 shots in 2 games. Only missed 9 shots. And he win by 7 and 5. Denver had a chance to steal both those games.
They did. They definitely did. Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, and as for game 5, Devin Booker actually has a human performance, and they get blown out.
It was pretty easily too. Denver really just had their way with him easily. So he has to be Superman every single game. That's not efficient basketball. That's not winning basketball. And the next round, that will not work. If they come out let's say a world where they do come out, that is not working in the next round, no matter who they play.
Yeah, if they play the Lakers or if Golden State comes back from down 3-1 and they have to play them, they lose to both those teams.
Yeah, they're losing to both of those teams. Those two teams will not allow a perimeter player to dominate them to that level, to that magnitude. It will not happen.
And just to make sure, Chris Paul is out 2 nights, right?
I believe so. Chris Paul, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he is out tonight.
I know DeAndre Ayton
is
out
tonight. Oh, yeah. He's game 7. Chris Paul is game 7.
Okay, spoiler alert. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton's out tonight. But
yeah, they got Ayton out tonight. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which
when did he get hurt? Where?
I don't know. I watched the entire game. Swear to everything, I did not see when he got hurt. But does that matter?
Okay, I'm gonna say it does off just the body. You know what I'm saying? Just the body. I think he's kind of I think he's averaged like about 7 or 8 rebounds a game in this series. So just off the fact of the body, maybe those little chippy buckets that he'll get, because he is awful. He is awful this series, but just not having him there, like who are you gonna go with now? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things.
Jock Landale.
But it's, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if they also don't, because they do sometimes they'll do that little pick and roll and he'll do that little floater or whatever that he'll get. Yeah. Now it's not an option, you know. It's not so. It comes to a point, like for example, like let's say, you know, because Book loves to play in that high pick and roll. Denver might just do a extreme trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't help that. That's 15 points off the board right there.
Right, exactly. So I would say it is bad. It is. They did get worse, even though he was awful, but just that option off the high pick and roll to give him that floater just to get the shot off, it's not there anymore. It's not existent anymore. So now you got to look for something else. They don't have anything else.
I'll say this though, for at least for in the defense of Jock Landale, he's defending Jokic better than Ayton has. Granted, Jokic is still doing what the hell he wants for the most part, but at least he's making his life harder as opposed to Ayton. It's easy prey.
Right. Yeah, he's doing what he can. He's doing his best, you know. And Ayton is easy prey. Ayton is like, I mean, how do you want it? You want a hook? You want a post fade? You want a drop step? Jokic is doing literally whatever he wants to him. But now you don't have a guy that could shoot from the little like free throw line area. You don't have that guy down there.
You don't have that, but you do have a better screener.
You do,
and you have a player who will actually hustle and try to get rebounds.
That's also true.
Instead of hoping for someone. No, there's a trade off. No, it's most definitely a trade off between the two.
It's a trade off, but I think they go down tonight.
They need another game like Game 4. Like if they need like a Landry Shaman to step up or something. Which credit to us, we said they should play him. Look what happened. He's the reason why they won the game.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like he's only playing over Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne did play too. No, I forgot who took out the rotation.
So
it was Biombo, Damian Lee, which whatever.
Got you. They still, but the guys you're playing now are better options.
Right, exactly. My thing is, I still want to know why Torrey Craig isn't playing over Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie is a little negative on the court right now.
I don't know why, and they used him heavily in that Clipper series. They could run him low key. They could try to run him at like power forward and see what he could do, but.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong about Josh Okogie. He's a great defender and he can hustle, but he can't shoot. They literally they're essentially playing 4-on-5 on the half court. Hence why I'll give Phoenix this. When Chris Paul went down, they were able to play more faster, which helped them out a lot.
Yeah, Josh Okogie kind of looks like who's that guy that used to play for OKC who was injured for like 3 years?
Andre Roberson.
Like him. Kind of like Andre Roberson, but he can't score. He can't knock down a shot. So they're very limited. And now they already lost another guy who can. They lost a mid-range shot in the big. They already got a guy that can shoot in perimeter. You know, Chris Paul was washed, but you seen how without his presence, the ball they still need him too. I just don't see how they win this game.
I mean, Devin Booker has given Superman performances before, and they're at home.
Yes.
Again, it's a problem where I have to literally say, if Devin Booker puts up 45 points, puts up 45 while shooting 85%, they might have a chance to win by 2 points again. Like that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable basketball. And again, credit to him. I'm not giving him no flack or nothing. He is literally playing amazing, and Durant's kind of hot and cold. But
Durant is hot and cold. He's iffy.
Yeah. Durant is hot and cold, but Devin Booker has been the best player in this round out of everybody so far. It's been him. But you cannot expect him, no matter how great he's playing, to continuously put up those numbers. Again, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, it shouldn't be expected of anyone. And any player, it shouldn't be expected at let's say if he has a bad one tonight, it's like, can you blame him?
Exactly. I'm not gonna say anything about him. Again, what he needs to do to extend this series is all right. It's all right. And again, I'm serious with Monty Williams. Like, he's not staying down. Like, all right, I need to put out 40 points, get like 8 assists, get a few defensive stops, and shoot 75% from the field.
Yeah, that's another. I'm glad you noticed that. He's been active on the defensive end too.
Yes,
he has. He's been active. He's literally doing it all.
Like, it's so unfair. It's so unfair to ask someone to do this, and honestly, that's gonna buy the Durant. I don't know what to expect from him in this game. I genuinely don't.
I don't know either. I don't.
He's kind of been shit this series.
He has. I think his best game was game 1.
I was gonna say game 4.
Or game 4, yeah, game 4. Well, game 1 and game 4 was his really like KD games. But besides that, he's like pedestrian, I guess. Like, he's just not that good.
Like, he's shooting like garbage from 3. He's only shooting 22% from 3. That's absolutely awful.
I can't believe this for Kevin Durant. Wow.
And shooting 46% from the field, which isn't bad, but isn't great either.
He's KD. He's known as a efficient monster.
And I can't believe the words I'm about to say, but it kind of applies in this situation. He's only averaging 31 points per game. And yes, saying only averaging and 31 points per game is insane, but you got to think of the situation he's in.
Yep.
He has to average 35 to win the series.
Exactly. And I'll say one thing he's doing good is he's rebounding well.
Yeah, I think he's averaging 10.
Yeah, he's rebounding well. That's one thing I took notice of. He's really playing on the boards well. Probably because he's frustrated with DeAndre Ayton, because I seen a clip.
He's averaging 10.5 rebounds.
10.5 rebounds for KD. So that is I'll say that's the impressive thing about him in this series is his rebounds. But he isn't doing enough in the scoring end.
On the Denver side of things, nice to know Michael Porter Jr. still exists, by the way, from last game. That was actually, I think you needed that for his confidence.
He did, because it was real bad.
And I'll be honest with you, I feel like that stupid shot he took on the break at that game 4 lost him the game to me. I like, it was like 2 minutes, it was like 2.5 minutes left. I think they were down by like 3, I think, where he just pulled up a 3-point shot and airballed. Like,
that was really bad. That was a really, really, really bad shot. And
like, honestly, Denver played so bad defensively in that game 4. I'm convinced that's why Mike Malone's voice in game 5 was gone. I'm convinced.
What was it? Was it game 4? I think Jokic been very frustrated with these guys as well.
It was game 4, yeah.
It was game 4. Jokic was, he was really on top of them on their performance. But I'm not worried about them.
I'm not worried about the game 5. I think did Jokic miss a shot in the second half? I feel like he didn't miss once in that second half.
He probably didn't. I don't think he did.
He missed a shot. That's it.
He missed a shot. Yeah. I mean,
how about Bruce Brown has been, you can make the argument, the most underrated pickup of the offseason. He dropped 25 points this past game.
He's definitely in the top 3 on underrated pickups. He's phenomenal in this team, and we've seen it in Brooklyn. So, I mean, me and you were like, "Whoa, they got Bruce Brown! Oh my goodness!"
Right. And KCP had a bad one, but he's due for that. It's fine.
And would it be surprised KCP is in the game today?
Exactly. He's the big reason why they won that second game too. So we'll see what happens today. Denver, they played this here every single time. Jamal Murray has been a bit inconsistent, but that's kind of what he is, anyways. And
they got home court, bro. So that's why I'm like, even not worried, even if they lose.
Yeah, they don't say that they're gonna win because beating Denver at Denver is a very, very hard place to win at.
Exactly. This is why you get home. This is why you get the number 1 seed for reasons like this. Even if they lose today, you got Game 7 at home, so I think they'd be all right. But I think they win today. I think they send Phoenix home today.
No, I think they win tonight. I think they win tonight. I think it's gonna be a close game, but then Denver pulls away at the end. You know why? Because those role players will actually play basketball, and theirs won't.
Yep, that's right.
But on to the last series.
Yes, sir.
Lakers and Warriors. Lakers up 3-2. Game 6 is tomorrow. So, here's the main person I want to talk about. Actually, Jordan Poole. He sucks. Like I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat. No, he's just garbage. And it's crazy. I could legitimately make this argument. If he plays well in this playoffs, we would have lost the series already.
Yeah.
Or we two going to LA, us being down.
What I will say is it will be reversed. It will be 3-2, and it will be going to LA. But this will definitely be a serious series that's insanely difficult for the Los Angeles Lakers if he was playing well. But, man, he's just been awful, bro. I mean,
I'm going to do stats from last year, and then I'm going to say this year's, okay?
Okay.
Last year when they won the title, he averaged 17 points per game, shooting 50% from the field and 39% from three. While
phenomenal.
91.5% from the free throw line. Great.
That's amazing.
This year, averages 10.6 points per game, shoots 34% from the field, 27% from three, and only shoots 76% from the free throw line.
So that is disgusting, bro. I mean, just listening to that, you could tell because this is a guy that shoots a lot of shots. So he had a 7-point drop off, and then he's shooting 34%. So that means that he's still shooting the shots that he always shoots. He is just not hitting.
The average volume is slightly less than last year.
It's slightly less.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. I feel like the biggest reason why the percentage is that high was because of game 1 of the series.
Okay.
He actually played really well. He played really well in that series. I mean, that game rather. But you watch him play, and mind you, he's doing this against my favorite teams. You would think I'm happy he's doing this, which I am. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you can't help but put your hand in your face. You watch the play, it's like, yo, he's an idiot.
This is ridiculous. Bad basketball is bad basketball, bro. Because I do the same thing. I'm watching. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Like
he's just not locked in.
Bad to the point that literally only 10 minutes in of him playing in that fourth game, Steve Kerr said, "Get out." Like you know for the day.
It's bad at a unplayable level where he can be the responsible for runs from the other team because of his bad play, where you kind of gotta like put him in and hope for the best, and if it's bad, then you gotta take him out. So Kerr is definitely dealing with hell in Jordan Poole. Like it is ridiculous.
Yeah, because you gotta think about this. Is like, okay, because he can't play on. If he can't play on offense, he sure as ain't playing on defense. So it's
exactly.
Like, so I have to hope that Moses Moody, which kudos to him. So by the way, he's actually played really well in his whole entire playoffs as a whole. But
watching him play, next year he's gonna be a problem, bro.
Right, like you got to tell okay, I gotta go to Moses Moody. I gotta give DiVincenzo more minutes, and I have to pray to God that, especially in that fourth game in particular, Steph Curry just drags us to a win, which he was close until Lonnie Walker saved the Lakers.
That's pretty much, yeah. He was close to dragging them, and then Lonnie Walker happened.
And Steph didn't close up the game well, but at the end of the day, he took those shots because his team was playing so badly and playing so timid that he said, "F it, I'm gonna do it myself."
Well, dude had a triple-double, man. He had a triple-double. He played a great game. I thought he played a great game. Yes, he didn't close it out well, but chances are that he was fatigued already. And like you just said, who else is gonna do it? Because Clay's been horrible.
Yeah.
He's another one.
Look at the numbers. Like the Warriors shot 17 shots in the fourth quarter. Steph took 11 of those shots.
Exactly. So, and what I'll say is, and I think this is another reason why the Lakers have this lead. They had a 3-1 lead, is that they know this, and they're playing off of it. And my thoughts in Game 5 is just like, they're the Warriors, bro. Like, no way anyone thought it was gonna be this easy, you know?
No,
Like,
I saw them losing coming.
Yeah,
this Game 5.
I saw it right away, and there's another adjustment like I seen in this game with, was this the Gary Payton starting game, or was that Game 4?
It was Game 4.
It was Game 4, but they kept him, right? They kept him in the starting lineup, and in this game in particular, I saw like more like cutting plays, more plays where they're throwing more decoys and they're slashing and dishing out and confusing the Lakers defense. So it's like, bro, it just feels like every game, each team is adjusting to something different and it's perfectly executed. Hence all these blowouts. It's because when two good teams really play each other, and it has two good, and they both have good coaching, imbalance is going to create. And that's really what just been happening every single game. I mean, every team makes an adjustment, and the other team, I guess, just doesn't see it coming.
Right.
Hence a run.
No, you know what's crazy though? Because in the fourth game, they were doing that a lot too. Hence why they're up like 11 at one point. I don't know what it was. They just stopped.
I mean, you got the turnovers. I seen a little bit of them just really just falling into the threes. Because, like, in the Game 4 to close, like, they could have drove the ball, but they just kept chucking.
A few
like
times,
Steph,
yeah.
They just Steph and Clay. It was kind of like a Celtics thing, to be honest with you. Like, it was like where they just chucked it and just hope for the best. But I mean, you know, this is a different Warriors team than most, so they still have those little mistakes where you just see it and you're like, this is this year's team,
right?
And
they're way more Steph reliant this year than you are the past few years.
Right. I think like they're as Steph reliant as like what? That's like 2015.
I'll see even before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to the Mark Jackson days.
Yeah, you see? So this is a really Steph reliant basketball team. And they're still a good team. They're better than most teams, despite that. But when they're facing against one of the best, like I think these two are like the top 3, at bare minimum, top 5 teams in the league right now. Like these two teams right here.
No, I think the 3 best teams in the league is Denver, Lakers, and Warriors. I think those are the 3 best teams in the league.
Right. So this is a team where the Lakers are great. I mean, ever since they made this trade, they're like damn near the best team in the league. So hence the deficit, hence them, you know, fighting for their playoff lives. They're playing an elite basketball team. Right. But this is just all adjustments, bro. Like this, and you're right. In Game 4, they did do that a lot, and then they stopped. And then here, they pulled away with it with those cutting plays. They pulled away.
Yeah, because the Lakers just couldn't get over the hump. I know they're down by 11 going into the going into halftime rather, and I felt like the Lakers just couldn't chip away at the deficit too much.
Pretty much. But you
know, Draymond having 20 points and Wiggins having 25 will do that to you.
Yeah, 20 and 10 from Draymond, hitting outside shots, hitting mid-range shots. That'll do it to you, bro.
And it's crazy because I don't think they'll come back from down 3-1. But they can.
I don't think so either.
But they can.
They definitely can. They if there is a team, it's them.
And honestly, and if it does happen, I'm just crowning them as champions. They're gonna win the title to me if that happens.
Yeah, if that happens, I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think this is the finals, bro. Like I just truly, I think it is, bro. I think this is the finals. I think both of these teams beat whoever. I think they both beat Denver, and I think they beat. They definitely beat whoever comes out in the East.
Oh no! I'm not even thinking about the East. I want to think about Denver at this point.
What bothers me about Denver is how they allow to drop 2 games off of that 2-man basketball stuff. The fact that you drop 2 is just like, come on, bro. Like I think the Warriors and the Lakers would have beat Phoenix in like 5.
Here's the thing, though. Knowing how Denver can play against the Lakers, you know damn well that would happen to us too.
It probably would, but this is
Denver would drop 60 actually.
This is a Lakers team. That's true. He does play good, but this is a Lakers team that is like, unless you like Steph, like they're gonna have a game where they're gonna shut you down.
No,
So
sure.
yeah, and this I just think it's damn near impossible to win in the crib, bro.
No,
I
winning again. It's like Lakers fans are making up for lost time because when they won the finals, there was no fans, and when they last made the playoffs, there were no fans either. Or if they were, they're like very, very little. This is the first time since Kobe, where I can't even say since Kobe because Kobe was injured that year. So, but
2010, like
I was 2020. The last time that the Lakers realistically had a shot was 2012 when they lost to the Thunder.
2012. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been 10+ years.
Yeah, but this team just the crib, they're just ridiculous, bro. Like they're just they seem unbeatable. And another reason why this deficit is the way it is and why it was 3-1 is because the Lakers just have so many more options than the Warriors do. Like they've had games. Obviously, you've seen the Lonnie Walker game. There was a Rui Hachimura had one. Austin Reeves had one. Like Dennis Schroeder be playing good too. I mean, D'Lo. Like, it just feels like the options are endless. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow there's some one of those guys do it. So I feel confident saying this. I think the Lakers will win Game 6 and advance to the Western Conference Finals.
No, I think they'll advance to Game 6, and that means we'll have a rematch of 2020. Like the way I think it goes, I think we're having a bubble 2020 Final Four like we did. Like we got the Lakers played the Nuggets and the Heat played the Celtics.
Yeah, this is the year where all those bubble haters, like, there's nothing you can say, man.
And it's
like
crazy.
All those teams made it.
Because I genuinely think Denver is the best team in the league too. Me personally, I think Denver's the best team in the league. But the Lakers do match up well against them, though. That's the thing. So
very well. They match up very well.
It'll be a tough series. No, it most definitely will be a tough series whenever they do play. But
yeah, we're gonna see. This is, I mean, our West is just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's amazing to watch, to be honest.
And Phoenix will lose to whoever they play in the next round. Anyways, I can't see who really go to the finals.
Yeah, Phoenix advance. They are losing no matter what. Like it's Warriors, Lakers. They're finished.
But yeah, that'll be all.
Sure.
Be sure to subscribe to Sports Dynasty and Mafia Sports Report, and we'll catch out in the next one. Well, we're talking about the East Conference Finals too. So the Conference Finals, that'll be fun. So
peace.